Well, after a lovely evening here at Cracker Barrel, except for the guy that came in at some point after I went to bed last night or just before and turned on his generator and ran it all night long. Actually, it's funny, there were 3 rigs that were parked here, 2 of which I know did not ask for permission because they came in after the store closed. And the manager was very nice to us. The sign is very clear, no overnight parking. And the manager said that the issue is that they had people that were obviously homeless move in and want to live in their parking lot, and they couldn't have that. And I don't blame them, they can't have that. So we asked for and got permission. We went in and ate dinner last night. Barb went back in and had breakfast this morning. I did not. Coffee. And now it is 8:12. We are on our way. Henry thinks it's 77 degrees. I don't think it's really that, but I'm not sure. We'll know better in a guess. No, it might be 77 because it just went up to 78 while we're sitting here. It is Friday, July the 4th. Oops. We're planning to visit 3 national monuments today. They're all very remote. Hopefully it'll all be fine. I'm sure it will. And then stay at a city park tonight. It's going to be a long day, guys, but I'm glad you're coming along with. So our first stop before we actually get on the road is going to be at Home Depot. I want to get another bin to contain the stuff that was being stored underneath and around the recliner that I got rid of yesterday. And yeah, so I'm going to pick up a couple of bins. I'm going to see if they've got my air compressor in stock and pick that up. And then we're going to get on our way.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Okay, well, we're finished up at Home Depot, and I bought a new tire inflator and 2 new bins. I almost bought a little teeny tiny blower, but I didn't.
Head east toward Dillon Drive.
And
Turn right onto Dillon Drive.
I'll be rearranging my pile of stuff again this evening, but that's fine. It's good. And I'll be able to get it all contained. So we've already passed Sam's Club on our way to Home Depot. And we passed, and right across from us is Walmart. So presumably, we might have been able to stay at any of those parking lots if Cracker Barrel had really been a problem. But the Walmart looks super full again already. The one at the south end of town looked really full as well. And the one at the south end of town, I didn't see a single solitary RV in there. Everything, buy one, get one free. Is that Walmart or something else? Oh, fireworks, I guess. Yeah, there's a big tent like that set up in the Walmart at the south end of town, too. Interesting. So we have 118. We have an hour and 18 minutes and 74 miles to go to our first destination for the day. Today we're going to be on US 385, which I've never been on before, so that'll be interesting. And here we are getting back on US 50 again. For the next 61 miles. Okie dokie. Underpass, just in case you weren't sure. Looks like they're doing some work on it. Look at this cute little downtown. Fowler State Bank. The Tribune. Well, I guess that was downtown. Now we're on the outskirts. And we still have, oh, shoot me, we still have 37 miles to our first destination. I'm getting pretty hungry. Loaf and jug. Oh, that must be bread and milk because it's a convenience store. Got it. I really do not like Family Dollar. Every time I've been in, my experience has been their stuff is way more expensive than it ought to be. Alright, so we got Manzanola 8, Rocky Ford 17, La Junta something else. Nice looking cemetery over here on the left. Very tidy looking. Fowler Cemetery. And so that was Fowler. Alright. Let's see what we can find next. Hey, well, it's another little metropolis. Let's see where we are now. Is it going to tell us? Manzanola, which I guess has a train history. My cup is bouncing in the cup holder. It's really annoying. Elevation 4252. We're going down. Cool brick building on the left there. Oh, it's got a sign, but I can't read it. Almost looks like it might have been the courthouse at some point. Okay, well that was quick. Not a whole lot to Manzanola. GoPro, stop recording. Well, I guess this is Rocky Ford. Which appears to be pretty agricultural, and they're claiming a farm market, but I don't know if I believe it or not. Rocky Ford. I don't see an elevation sign. Garmin thinks we're at 4189, so we're continuing to descend. And we are going to end up pretty daggone hot today, but where we plan to sleep tonight is going to be 5 degrees cooler than where we were last night, so yay for that. Oh, I guess this is downtown Rocky Ford coming up here with a traffic light and everything. Benevolent something, Order of the Elks. What's the P stand for in BBLE? I don't remember. They've got the State Bank. Oh, and their main street goes in both directions. Barb got caught at the light, so I'll just wait here for a moment. So let's see what we see as we leave Rocky Ford. I wonder what Rocky Ford was fording originally. Sonic. And the High Chaparral Inn, which has 3 cars in front of it. It looks like that's probably permanent housing, though. I don't know why I think that, but I do. Curve Liquor. Well, that was aptly named on the curve, I guess. Okay, and I guess that's the end of Rocky Ford. I'd like to know what the Ford is about, though. Maybe I'll look it up when I'm editing. Swink is 5 miles. So I guess we get to Swink before we get to La Junta. Once again, they felt compelled to put a sign up that said this is an underpass. It's a tall underpass at 15 feet 11 inches. So we must be coming into Swink. Oh yes. Elevation 4118. Continuing to go down. They're all decked out for the 4th of July. Look at all those flags set up there. Big cattle lot on the left just as we were coming into town. It was stinky. Yeah, they put up a lot of flags on all of the city property, I guess. Very nice. We go from 35 back up to 60 in a hurry. I guess that was the end of Swink. 4 miles to La Junta, and then from La Junta we're going to Lamar, and then we turn north again. So it's just about 10 o'clock and the temperature is up to 83 degrees already. Of course, part of what happens is when the elevation goes down, the temperature goes up, and vice versa. When the elevation goes up, the temperature goes down. And we just passed the La Junta city limit sign. They got a Wendy's, they got a Walmart, they've got errands. Wow, this must be a metropolis. They have a KOA with a caboose in the front of it. Boy, KOAs have gotten really expensive. They were always expensive, I thought. But, like yesterday, when I was trying to find someplace we might have been able to get water, there were KOAs that were like $65 and $75, and we're in the middle of nowhere. I didn't think it was like really a tourist destination area. On the other hand, I guess I probably haven't stayed in a KOA since like 2018, so that's about 7 years, and I think on average they were, you know, $45 then. But if you paid $30 for a KOA card, you got 10% off. Whoop whoop. Just like Good Sam. So La Junta retains its 55-mile-an-hour speed limit along the highway here. I think we might be going through downtown La Junta, but I'm not sure. I have trouble saying that. My tongue trips over my teeth. Well, we got several hotels. I wonder what the claim to fame is. A defunct steakhouse. food. Oh, and Taco Bell, not to be confused with Mexican food. And the speed limit just dropped to 45. So we must be coming into downtown La Junta. Junction 350 was a half mile. We're not getting on 350. We'll be on 385 later. And I ran out of iced tea a while ago, so I'm sounding all hoarse and crackly again. Look at that train. Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Where's Atchison? Is that Tennessee? Huh, I don't know. I might have to look that up. Asian cafe with pho, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Thai. I guess they think Americans don't know any different. It's an old school looking Safeway. Oh look, they got a bunch of their flags, up here too. Good for them. Traveling, boy, that looks nasty. I think we're in the industrial part of town now. Oh, there's a Love's. It's a little itty bitty Love's. It's okay, Kit. It's okay. Hey, here's our first sign for Bent's Old Fort National Historic Site. Huh. Boys Ranch, this direction. Remember Boys Ranches? Bent's Fort, Boys Ranch straight ahead. I wonder what this building is.
Continue on Colorado 194.
Kind of cool looking. So, ever since we turned onto this road, we've been pretty much just driving through farmland, which has been beautiful. And there's what kind of looks like an enormous dike off to the left, except that it doesn't appear uniform enough to be man-made. But I don't know. And there is a river we're going to be crossing, and there was a river over there, so I don't know if that's a naturally occurring thing or if it's just an unevenly built man-made thing. We're only about a little over a mile away from Bent's Old Fort, so we're going to find out who Bent was, and what this particular fort is about. I can smell the agriculture here in a good way. You know, smell the smell of green growing things. And it's only 81 degrees here now. It was 83 back in La Junta. I'm probably saying it wrong anyway, no matter how much I'm trying. There's the sign. Do you see the sign, Kid? Do you see the sign? It says Bent's Old Fort. Oh, visitor entrance ahead. We're not quite there yet. National Historic Site. Nine to 4. Yeah, this entrance is not well marked at all. Big cattle guard. It's okay, Kit. I see the fort up ahead. And I see a parking lot. And there's a little visitor center, so we're going to get a little walk in. Cool. We're here at Bensold Fort. We're on the children's tour. I think there's 6 or 8 of them. So we're staying way at the back so the kid doesn't have to be overreactive to them. And it's going to be an incredibly slow walk down here to the actual fort, I think. But the only way to get inside the fort is by doing the tour. So I want to do that.
1849. Now the back half is destroyed, the front part survives until the 1870s, used as a stagecoach stop. It's not until the railroad comes through that spells into the stagecoach era. Now if anybody's heard of John Prowers County? He is, you think of this fort, you can see a lot of Mexican/Spanish influence. Now, some of it is pretty obvious. That's the adobe. However, the windows and the doors and how they're faced inwards is also a common trait that you find in the southwest and down in Mexico. What we entered is called the zaguan. So you're seeing a lot of the architecture that you'd see down in Mexico. Even if we call New Mexico, this period is still Mexico. Now it makes sense because most of the laborers we believe here are going to be Mexicans that are hired by the same grain company. Now how we do the reconstruction of the fort is based off of this sketch here. It's a copy of it was done by Lieutenant James A. Bear. He's with the Army's Department of Topographical Engineers. And so that's what we're using now. What do you think of the fort we're looking at? We're thinking it's about 60% of it is accurate, 40% is going to be guesswork.
I can't get that close to the children.
Idea of what a chain post would have looked like out here in the plains. Now, the functions of the rooms, that comes from the archaeological dig. We knew that the functions of the rooms do change. Now, what that sketch does not do, location of the fur press. So that's how we're able to do that. And once we come back, or when the executive free, you're free to come back, take a look at this or that again as well. And so this is the council room. In my opinion, this is the most important room when it comes to the trade side of the house. The reason being, this is
Stop.
Negotiating, very time consuming. So with that in mind, what do you think are the main trade items if you're the men here trading that they want? Buffalo hide. They're bringing me the buffalo hide.
Women.
Cheyenne.
They want women.
Yeah, coffee.
Flour. Salt.
Whiskey. So some of the main items are cooking utensils. I need to find one of our pots again, but things that because traditionally, what the women are using are something like a buffalo stomach, and you can't put the buffalo stomach on the fire. You fill it with water and take hot stones from the fire, and you put it in there. So that's going to be very time consuming. If I'm the trader, when the men are here to trade, I want as many of these guys as possible. And so the cooking utensils, things that go either right on the fire or right next to it. So that makes the cooking and cleaning process much quicker, and women are spending more time on these guys here. Now, on a side note, because back then, it was common practice to have each male to have multiple wives. Now, is it more preferable to have a wife who could do this by herself, or multiple wives who could work on them themselves? What do you think? Multiple wives or a single wife? Multiple? That's what you think. Using her example, if she could do 3 hides by herself, and get her woman here, we're a group they can do 5. Well, she's still more valuable because she's doing more by herself than the group. You would think it'd be the opposite. Now, I make it sound like the women are doing the work, the men are just like, all right, time, get to work. Not quite like that. Who do you think pretty much owns the teepee?
The man.
The woman. Divorce back there is a lot different than what it is today. If the men come here and just get what they want, don't come back with what the wife wants. All she had to do was just take his stuff, throw out the teepee, and they're divorced. William Bent loses one of his wives. Not quite like that because of that part, but one of the traders that he employs, falls in love with that wife. She divorces William Bent and marries him. So a little different. So I mentioned the items. So that beads are also very popular trade items. Your foodstuffs like your coffee, sugar, salt, textiles, your blankets are popular. Those pack saddles, which are these guys here we put on a mule. The boots and brogans, those are for your trappers or military ones coming through the tribes could care less. Now, of the 7 continents, which one do you think is not represented here? Africa, Antarctica, Australia. It is one of the A's, is actually Australia.
Wow.
The reason being, Australia has been, it's been being populated by Europeans and others, but the United States has not discovered it yet for trade. So that's the only one that you don't see goods, that you would see goods here. Antarctica is usually the common one, but that's whale oil. Africa, you're getting chocolate and they're good. South America, you're getting coffee, chocolate as well. From Mexico, you're getting sugar and other spices from the Caribbean. Tea and spices from Asia. So pretty wide array that you would not expect here. Now those goods do not come directly here. They do. They go to St. Louis. They work with different trading houses. They the Vincent Grain Company, and when the rabbits I mentioned earlier, when they return in the fall, these trade goods are coming on that way.
All right, so this is the dining room. This is the kitty in the dining room. Hi, kitty, kitty, kitty. Barb is holding on to Kit, since there's a kitty in the dining room. And the upstairs looks pretty cool, but the stairwell's pretty steep, so probably not. We'll see.
Personal space, Nope. You get used to it. And now, the room between the carpenter shop and the blacksmith shop, we call that the senior craftsman. So whatever that's most likely.
And of course, as most of these facilities are, it is all self-contained.
Yes.
So they've got a carpenter shop and a wheelwright shop. Cool looking little fireplace there. Very cool. None of that now. Okay, I think I've hit the end of the line. Is this all we can see?
Yes.
All right. And see, Mario is busy keeping it in shape.
Over here that you can catch. There's a spot over here that you can access.
I can come through here, right?
Yeah, right there. Gives you a different vantage point, and it actually gives you ways to see.
Oh, cool.
Not only part of the rest of the fort has a side corral, and you can also see some of the structural issues that we're having with the building.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, check that out. Look at that. Very cool.